Another anime I adore is Planetes, a 24-episode hard sci-fi slice of life anime about the year 2070, where the age of space exploration has left our space riddled with debris that, if not recycled, will seriously damage everything in its path. It is also a story about the state of the world, where the privileged first-world countries are holding all space resources to themselves, while millions of people die from starvation, curable diseases, and wars, some of which were started on behalf of these first-world nations to begin with. It is also a story of Hachimaki, a space garbage man that throughout the series discovers himself and his relationship with space and humanity. So, let me tell you something about realism in media. Realism is when a work of art attempts to recreate reality with some degree of accuracy. It can be either a good thing or something to be avoided depending entirely on the context. The key word here is context. The point of being realistic isn't just to sacrifice fun on the altar of realism. The point is to use the potential our reality has to tell a story. And more often than not, people have a warped idea of the real world. Either it's just this wonderful thing, or it's a never-ending shit show where death is the only possible solution, but as it stands, the world has a lot of great things that you can use, combine, tweak, and master. If a creator is willing to do the research, they can create plenty of stuff that is wild and wonderful, but at the same time realistic. And it doesn't even need to be unique. Take some recent sci-fi, for example. Martian used the potentially realistic setting it provides to basically retell the story of Robinson Crusoe. Interstellar made a story out of real-life physics. Planetes, in this regard, also uses reality to craft a story that is much more believable. Some of these realism elements are but a part of the setting, like laser satellites or the travel distance of information in space. Some are vital parts of the story, like socio-economic instability under current capitalist structure, or that Moon's gravity allows you to cosplay as ninjas. It uses limitations provided by our real life to craft a story that seems feasible, even if in 2020 some of the stuff either feels archaic or debunked. The graphics of the show, as well as the visual presentation, are also top-notch. A lot of care went into important scenes, and every frame tells you a small story, context of which can be derived even if you've never seen the show. The music isn't that memorable, and there's not much of it, but it is very good at supplementing the action on the screen. Now, the show isn't without a fault, mind you. Most of my irritation comes from the supposed main protagonist of the story, Ai Tanabe, that is a loud know-it-all that creates more trouble around herself than it's really healthy in such a hostile environment such as space. A lot of characters in general feel less like characters once you start thinking about them, and more like a collection of several character traits that are autonomous and serve little point in the overall story. I know, shocking. But regardless, Planetes is one of my top 5 animes because it's a prime example of how to create an interesting hard sci-fi setting without making it boring, overly political, or grim. The plot likes to meander a bit, but I generally recommend anyone that likes good character dramas to watch it.